All right. Well, welcome everybody. I want to take a moment to welcome our guest speaker tonight, Doug Sandler. He's the guru in customer service. Doug has over 30 years of experience as an entrepreneur and a leader. His book, Nice Guys Finish First, is a #1 ranked Amazon bestseller, and he specializes in teaching others the how-tos of building relationships and strengthening connections. He is a nationally recognized speaker and writer and has been included in the top 100 of social media thought influencers to follow. So please, Doug, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Pat. Thank you so very much, and everybody that's on the line. Pat, before you step out of the microphone, do me a favor. Can you give me just a roundabout idea of about how many people that we have and just what regions of the country we're dealing with?
Sure. Right now we are at 16 participants on the audio, and we have 11 on the video, so I'm not sure what that's about. But we kind of represent all areas. We've got Chicago, D.C. is recognized. I heard somebody from Arizona came up. So basically all of our chapters are Minnesota, Chicago, D.C., Nevada, and Arizona, and then we have some at-large members. I know Kim is here from Houston. Madali is here from Utah. Let's see who else I know here. I see some Nevada people on the line here.
And that's great.
Local Minneapolis people. So we got quite a spectrum.
A good representation from all over the country. And last night I was very fortunate to present to the NCA chapter in D.C. and found out some great information about just, I guess, a recent conference that you all had in Chicago. And is that where everybody went, or was that just a portion of your group went there?
That was where our annual conference was this year. Yes,
that's
exactly.
Great. That's great. So I heard a lot of positive feedback about that. I love hearing about the relationships that are built. A number of people that were at the meeting last night had expressed, and just so you know, this actually is a part of the presentation because relationship building is obviously in the business that we're all in is paramount. So I spend just a moment talking about that because in listening in some of the pre-chatter before I actually started talking last night to the chapter there, what was so amazing was the camaraderie that was built. And one of the gentlemen that was in the meeting, I think his name was Michael, was talking about the fact that he didn't even one of the biggest components of the chapter of the conference was the after and the before networking. And while the classes and the education, I'm sure, were wonderful, we all know that you don't do most of your networking and relationship building in educational sessions. You do that before and after, and the trips that you take and the people that you see. So really, that's kind of where I wanted to start. And Pat will know this just from knowing me for a very short period of time. Technology is totally not my friend, but fortunately, Pat has her hand on the button to advance all the slides. Otherwise, I would have done this presentation via fax, and we would have taken a little bit longer to try to figure this all out. So the title of tonight's program, and I'm going to do my best not to read the slides because they are right in front of me, so it makes it very easy for me to read them. But you guys can read the stuff that's in front of you. But just to give you the idea of the program, it's up and away, super service that lasts a lifetime. How to be really a customer service superhero, and that's what we're going to spend about the next, I think Pat said 4 or 5 hours. So we'll be nothing major. Now we'll spend a very short period of time talking about some of the things that I prepared, and then I want to open it up to questions because there's probably going to be some before we get to the end. Everybody, if you want, at some point, feel free, please. Just let me know your questions in the middle. Pat, feel free again to just stop me because I'll just roll through some of these things, not thinking that there might be a question. If there is one, just stop me and don't feel like you're being rude. I can't see any hands raised, so I don't know when people are ready to go. So how to be a customer service superhero. Okay, so we're ready to advance to the next slide, Pat. So just to give you an idea, just a small idea and a very quick 30-second commercial on who I am and what brought me here. I have a podcast called the Nice Guys on Business podcast. We're about 210 or 215 or something like that. I lost count somewhere after over 200 plus episodes into this. I've had an opportunity to talk about customer service with some really big people in business like Arianna Huffington, like Dan Harris from Good Morning America, like Ted Rubin, who has nearly 1 million followers on Twitter. I mean, these are people that understand not only traditional business, but the business of technology that we're dealing in today. So I've had a podcast for the last couple of years. I've interviewed experts in the field. I wrote an ebook called Providing Great Customer Service, Creating an Exceptional Customer Experience. I have 21 professionals, business owners, industry leaders that helped me put that book together. And I'm happy to provide that book to you as well at the end. I'll tell you how you can get that. I wrote a book about 2 years ago that quickly, and much to my surprise, I did not realize how much people really thought that the idea of nice guys finishing first is there, but everybody always thinks nice guys finish last, so they're very curious. So the book, in about 6 weeks of time on Amazon, became a #1 bestseller in the category of customer service. And again, a little bit later on, I'll tell you how to get that. I write for this very small publication called the Huffington Post as well. I'm a HuffPost contributor. I'm a blogger. I'm a keynote speaker, and I'm a business coach as well. I'm more than happy to come out to anybody's location, especially if you're in a warm climate in a cold winter month on the East Coast. I'm happy to come anywhere that you tell me to come. We'll even make the pricing very good for you. All right, so that's just to give you an idea of who I am and why I might be qualified to talk about this subject. So Pat, if you'll just advance to the next slide for me. Okay, so it really is as simple as you too can become a superhero. I want to start with a story, just something that happened to me just a short time ago, maybe about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer ago now. I've been telling the story for, I guess, about a year now. We all know how technology really has taken over things. So I had an opportunity, the misfortune, I guess, to have a duplicate charge on my credit card. It was for $75, so it was no big deal.